Finally, yes.
Where the heck have you been?
All over the place.
Have we got a show for you? Oh, hurry up. Hurry up. I got to tell you about America.
All right.
I got to tell you about so much stuff. I got to tell you about green tea. I got to tell you about zest. I got to tell you about so many things. Can you hurry?
We're hurrying. All right, we're here.
Oh.
Hi, Gene.
Oh. I was waiting for the breaks, you know?
Yeah. Wait, what happened here? We've got a technical difficulty here. We'll get this rectified in a second. There we go. Yeah.
Oh,
William hid from us. We couldn't find William. There he is. William's back again.
Oh.
He's running around the barn. Good morning. How are you?
Come back, William. Come back. Remember the movie, what is it?
I'll give you a minute to figure it out.
Where that big boat sinks. Where that big boat sinks into the water.
You're not talking about Titanic.
The Titan, yeah. And she's like,
Titanic.
he's dying and he's floating away. And she's like, come back.
Come back. There was also another Western where that was a big line in the Western. Do you remember that? Look, everybody, look at Jean's mug. Look at this mug that she has. I mean, this is fitting for an astrologer. And
Aquarian.
Look at this. We have the exclusive Trek Upward radio show cups that we will start selling. They are so exclusive, even my co-host doesn't have one.
Yeah, well, he...
Right there. There we are.
Papers in the mail pretty soon because he didn't send me one of those.
Okay. And we're drinking, look at this, we're drinking chamomile. Okay. But Gene's drinking something.
Because he wants to go to sleep, and I'm drinking Zest, which has more caffeine than coffee.
No, you only have to watch our show to go to sleep. So
it's a green tea, and it is an amazing kick. And it's an antioxidant, and it's good for you. But you know what?
What?
Something better than green tea.
What's that?
Spring Dragon. I'm going to do a commercial right now for Spring Dragon, the healthiest tea on the planet. Gaiostima is the main ingredient. It has a tad of ginseng in it, but it will make your body so strong. It gives you a kick in the morning. It has no caffeine in it, and it blends with your body at night if you were to drink it, and calms you down and gets you ready for bed.
Ladies and gentlemen, none of these statements have been approved by the federal Drug Administration.
Don't you forget that.
Okay.
You can get it from dragonherbs.com. It is the best tea I have ever. It's saved my life, quite frankly.
Really?
I am so healthy. Now I can drink green tea. I don't even like coffee. And the green tea does the trick because of the Spring Dragon other tea, which I drink 1 cup a day. 1 cup a day keeps you...
What, 1 cup a day keeps the Chinese herbalist away?
No, you know what it does?
What?
1 cup a day raises your IQ 10%.
What? Oh, no, wait a minute.
That's right.
All right, I got to say this disclaimer. None of these statements have been approved by the Federal Drug Administration. So, contact
we don't care about them anyway.
Well, all right, okay. Disclaimer.
They're just bought people, They're just bought. Come on. Speaking of buying, we really have to do America's chart today.
Yep, we are.
We really need to take a look at it because we haven't talked about the very thing that we need to be talking about, which is transit progressions of America's chart. We need to keep on that. There are so many changes going on because the progressed moon has just moved into Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules foreigners. You may wonder why I'm reaching. Here, I'll show you why I'm reaching. Can you see that?
There you go, a little bit of it. We'll actually be posting this, and we'll cut in on our video here so you'll be able to see this chart. So Gene's going to go ahead and describe the chart, but you will see it on the video. And in fact, here it is on the video right now. Okay, so what do we got?
Anyway, the moon is now. I'm using George Washington's chart because he was our first hero, April 30th, 1789, at 1:30 p.m. in New York, New York. And why? Tell me why am I using that chart, Arthur?
It is because it was when George Washington took the oath of office as our first president, thereby initiating the spiritual office of the President of the United States.
Very good.
Thank you.
You get an A on your paper.
I get a cookie
I
and
love it.
some tea.
No, you give me the cookie or the apple.
Fair enough.
The teacher.
Yes, that's right.
All right, so in this particular chart, the progressed moon, which is what you always want to watch in your own personal astrology because it shows the cycles that are the most predominant in your life at the time. The moon is in Sagittarius. We are dealing with some foreign, real big foreign issues that within 1 month could very much hit the shores of America. 1 month, August,
Wow.
September.
Well,
Yeah,
let me.
moon is in Sagittarius. The foreigners are throwing their stuff around. China and Russia is supporting North Korea. North Korea just did an ICBM missile
Yep.
test.
Mm-hmm.
And on another show, we said that they were just show and tell. They basically are show and tell. And Russia and China are propping them up to make them look like they're a threat, but they're just a big mouth. And so Sagittarius is that sign that people wear their foot in their mouth. They say things blunt and boldly, but they don't have anything to back it up. They're just loud. So basically, that's what's happening. We're hearing all these loud mouths in the liberals, the Democrats, everybody thinks Trump's pretty loud. Now, I need to educate the whole population on eclipses.
Okay.
There is a very, very misunderstood opinion about what eclipses do and what they don't do. I need to tell you that I've been doing this for 35 years, and I am from the Show Me State, Missouri. Show me. And basically, every eclipse I've ever seen is basically somewhat of either a new moon glorified or a full moon amplified in a teeny tiny way. In other words, you cannot prove to me that that eclipse influenced, the taking down of a whole planet economically or at any other level, because a moon doesn't have that kind of power. So eclipses, astrologers go on and on and on about them. It just cracks me up and it bores the tears out of me because I already know that it's just something to get the listening person moved to think, oh my God, the world is going to fall apart in August because we have an eclipse at 29 degrees Leo or Aquarius.
So then,
whatever.
what do you see as the impact of this particular eclipse, especially since it's going across the center of the country? The solar. I'm talking about
I
the
think
solar.
that is drama,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's going to do a dang thing except for what it normally does, which is influences people wanting to travel to Wyoming so they can see it, because it's Leo, and Leo likes to have an adventure. So no, I don't think it's going to wipe out the economy or cause World War III. Sorry. But please keep that in mind. Keep it practical. Moons do amplify emotional energy because that's what the moon is made to do. It's the only luminary that travels around the Earth. All the rest of the planets travel around the sun. So the moon thinks it has a lot of power because it can pull on your emotional tide and try to get you to walk on the water and sink in. But that's all it is. That's all it is, folks. It's not going to destroy. The moon cannot and does not have the power to destroy the world. Only the emotions within you can do that, where you get full of the emotional fear or the, whatever that is internally. So, you know what? Joy is a word for Leo. So instead of going, oh my God, do I have enough gold in my treasure chest? Just go, yeah, I do, because nothing's going to happen. I'm fine.
Well,
Yeah.
let me add my astrological perspective on this. 'Cause Jean's definitely the mentor here. She is definitely the way. One of the things that I notice that always helps me to put a lunar influence in perspective is the light from the moon is not generated by the moon; it's reflected light.
Exactly.
So
Right.
it's basically the light of the sun misdirected. So that's what it is. So look at it as
And
that.
that's all it is.
It's
That is all it
misdirected light.
is. So think about this in a practical way. Light, absolutely. When you turn on the light, it exposes the darkness around you, right?
Correct. Oh yeah, yeah.
So it may expose a little emotional turbulence inside of you that makes you want to hold on to a little word called fear. Oh my God, something's going to happen. Instead, do the opposite. Walk on the water of the moon. Mother Mary is depicted as standing on the moon in many, many, many statues. She's giving you a message, master it, get over it. It's not that big of a deal. It's just your karma. And the karma can only be, in this case of a full moon, amplified a little bit where you go, I think I'm going to cry.
Well, let me ask you another question about some of the things that other astrologers have said. Does that actually create like a ghost point though for triggering all future events where that eclipse occurs? Look, I'm just answering what
Prove
they're
it
going to
to
say.
me. Prove it. I am from the show me state.
Yeah.
35 years. How many moons is that? Because every month you get two of them, and then every once in a while you get a
Co-host
blue
been
moon,
many
which is
moons on planet Earth.
Mia. I've watched many, many, many
That's
moons.
right.
Mathematically, I've watched them.
Okay.
And the blue moon, just so everybody knows what a blue moon is, I know you've heard that song, The Blue Moon. The blue moon is 2 full moons in 1 month. But
Understood.
see, that's because Julius Caesar okayed this one calendar and made so many days in a particular month. But if you got the right calendar, you might notice that there's less days in the month. And so there wouldn't really be 2 moons in 1 month. So that's another,
Right. In other
kind
words,
of
if they had set up the calendar to match the lunar cycle. One thing that I do want to add on this is that lunar cycles are actually the trigger for the Chinese astrology. So if you take a look at some of the Chinese, 12 positions and the different animals.
The horse
and-
will gallop right over the moon.
Exactly.
Quite frankly.
Yeah. But those.
And the monkey's gonna,
So those
monkey
cycles,
around.
though, of the Chinese Lunar New Year, which is celebrated at the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd of February, somewhere in that area, is actually corresponds to the first full. Is it the first new moon? I think it's the first new moon in Aquarius. Is what it actually attributes to. But anyway, I digress. So what is the rest of this lunar influence going to be? Do you think how's it going to manifest?
If I see one more article that's 14 pages long about what the heck the eclipse is going to do in August, I'm going to scream. Because basically, forget about it, folks. Nothing's happening there. And except for that, you might have a little bit romantic inclination with the Leo side of it.
Ooh.
And with the Aquarian side of it, you might do something silly like stand on your head. But, all
Or make faces.
seriousness, in all seriousness, you can look at your own life and see how amplified you've been under any particular full moon going back to your very first day and breath on Earth. And you tell me, what has it done to you? How do you feel? And furthermore, because the moon travels so quickly, 2 hours, 2 days from one sign to another, how in the world can it destroy a planet? And so the reason I'm making such a big to do about this is I get these emails from certain people that call themselves astrologers, and I think they just need something to say. So that's why they, go on and on and on about it. But I read these things and I'm like, is there one sentence in here of credibility that really you could prove? And what they usually do is they talk about what the future has to offer under this influence. And
I'm hanging on your words here, Gene. So you think it's overrated that we're not going to have any influence at all from it?
Way overrated. And my mentor told me one time that really all you want to use when you're doing astrology is the planets, because every rock, somebody's going to write a story about it. Because it's easy to write about asteroids, which are just basically a blown up planet out there. And yes, mass is and does influence mass, because all mass or physical matter is a conductor of energy.
Right, it has a frequency and a vibration of itself.
A frequency and a vibration, exactly. So to write books about it, and I had a client come in and say yesterday how, Chiron.
Chiron?
Chiron. I'm going to say it in 15 different ways.
Yeah.
Because this is the way I hear it from my customers. It was the most influential reading I've ever had when they told me about Chiron and what it did to me. And I'm like, rolling my eyes. Because see, what people hear, they believe. They don't necessarily know. Okay, a planet is a planet. It's proven. Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars are the personality planets. They influence your day-to-day moods. Absolutely. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto influence the long-term and important events in your life. All the world is a stage. These are the sort of like energy levels that come down in the pipeline and influence your world. But when you take a rock like an asteroid or a black moon, there's 32,000 black moons that move around the sun, and people write books about it. And Lily is going to lilify your world. I mean,
Lilith, yep.
it gets so ridiculous. It's like no wonder astrology has a stigma on it, and nobody wants to even look at it.
You know what I
Yes,
think is
you
funny?
can,
Lilith
you can
was
chart your penny stocks. Let me just say this: you can chart your penny stocks with the moon, and I tell you, I would do it next month under the full moon in Leo.
I have something that we could try, and in fact we
You
will.
might make some money.
Right, we'll take this off the air and we'll bring this back for a show. I have an idea for a show because I do have some penny stocks that we need to take a look at, and perhaps we could do a little demonstration for our listening and viewing audience
Actually,
on how to handle this.
I need to correct myself.
What?
The new moon will be at 28-degree Leo eclipse on the 21st. That's the one everybody's making a big to-do
Now that's
about. And well, let me explain a new moon. A new moon is the beginning of a cycle, okay, for the month or for the 2 weeks that it is considered before you get to your full moon. And that's when you want to start your projects. The full moon is the peak of the project, and you better have your stuff done if you want to grow a big plant or be successful in your business or have the right kind of investment. And that new moon for that particular cycle doesn't happen until the 6th of September, and it's in Pisces, and it's not even in eclipsing anything. So when you capture that cycle, you better go backwards, because the full moon is at 15 degrees Aquarius on the 7th of August. Okay?
yes. Well, this
So
is
that's the peak of the cycle. We're in it right now. If we're going to have any influence whatsoever, we're already in that cycle.
okay.
So the 7th it's done. You got the amplified Aquarian energy, which means we'll probably see a little bit of violence on the screen or some unusual activity socially. But it's just, it's not the economy collapsing. Okay, the Leo, new moon Leo, that is an investment time for the next 2 weeks. So, I would run and buy your gold and silver at that time. The price will probably be really down, and you always want to buy when it's down. Look at Ethereum.
Let's go back. You talked about foreigners. You talked about influence of foreigners and a big influence on the United States. What type of influence do you see with that?
Now we're back to the progressed moon. The progressed moon has nothing to do with the normal moon that we were talking about in the realm of the eclipse. And a progressed moon takes like 30 months to go through a certain sign. The sign is the space in the sky that the planet travels through. So the moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules foreigners, long distance. It rules big mouth, bluntness, crusade for a cause, fanaticism. Okay, it's at 2 degrees. Our midheaven in America is at 3 degrees. So that means that we're going to get some in-home foreign, trouble going, probably immigration, and some of those subjects will get a little bit more amplified. We may see a little big mouth signs walking around. And foreigners like George Soros coming in and stirring up riots in little groups of people.
Well, let me
making it look like it's bigger than it is.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question on this, because there is some mouthings that are going on some of the press shows concerning some kind of an attempt to try to take Trump down.
Guess what Sagittarius rules?
What?
Broadcasting. Broadcasting. So the noise is coming through the media, and the media could create a war if we are stupid enough to believe what they say. And they love to dwell on the negative because they think that that's what sells their news. And people turn on the TV to see, oh my God, is that negative going to be amplified? That's exactly what Moon and Sagittarius will do in America's chart. For the next 30 months, we have to deal with their big mouths. And most of it is just air, hot air.
So bottom line is we're going to continue to see media noise, and that's going to try to stir up trouble. And we have to watch for those things that may be going on behind the scenes that will exacerbate those situations, such as people supporting movements of noise and anything that might be rioting.
Yeah, groups of people. Just...
By noise, I'm talking
and
about...
And most of it will be about foreigners. It'll be about immigration or, possibly religious views, division in the realm of transgenders cannot be in the military. That is a perfect example of, much to do about nothing. Although there'll be a few people that make a big deal out of that. Oh my God, you were not going to. There was a Navy SEAL once that was a transgender, and look what that SEAL did. A bunch of hooey, basically, just to make it look blown out of proportion, which Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter. 1,300 Earths can fit inside of Jupiter.
That's a lot
That's
of
huge.
space.
No kidding.
That's a lot of
And
expansive
it is all
gas.
space.
Yeah, and gas.
You got it right there, Arthur. It's space. And so people just try to fill up space with noise
Interesting.
and
Very
sound.
interesting. So there's
Anyway, it's crossing over into the fourth house, which means we're going to be on the receiving end of just a lot of noise.
Well, let me ask. I was just out looking right now with the cycle, with the show being broadcast now. I noticed that the moon is conjoined with one of the planets, and I did not take a look at that right now. Did you do current transits by any chance?
The moon isn't conjoined any planet right now because the moon is, if it would be conjoined the sun.
No.
The
I'm
moon
not.
is not.
Talking during that cycle. It's just last 2 nights ago I saw it. So in its position 2 nights ago, it was definitely there was a planet. I wasn't sure if it was Jupiter or Venus. I think it was Jupiter that there was conjunction, but I didn't take a look at that.
Well, that would have only lasted a couple of hours, I probably didn't make a big deal out of it right now.
So those are kind of things that I do notice, that if you do get the transit, like Gene's talking about, they're so transitory, meaning they don't have a long life or shelf life to them. They just come and gone. It's like a firecracker.
Well, look at
Bang,
it this
it's over.
way.
Yeah.
Arthur, you wake up, you're kind of in a mood. 2 hours later, you're in a different mood because the moon has moved on. It is like a quick deal. And you're not Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Your moods will go up and down based on the location of the tide that's being pulled on you. You're 90% water, so the moon's going to pull on your tide. And absolutely, you're moody. But does that mean, again, I don't mean to, fanatically crusade my cause here with the not giving the power to the moon eclipses and stuff. But, don't worry about it.
Well, there you have it.
Live in the now and deal with the mood that you're dealing with right now, because that's where your karma is. It's in your face. You feel it. Take care of it right then and there and balance it. Turn it into harmony. Walk on the water like Peter did in the Bible. And, of course, he kept free will choice sinking, and Jesus had to go, come on, Peter. Geez. Hold on to my hand. Okay. Let me hold your hand. I don't want to drown. You don't want to drown, absolutely. And when you feel something emotional, you can bet you're being given an opportunity to balance karma.
Well, let me ask you another question here. We're talking about China and Russia kind of supporting this lack of vision that Korea has. Do you see danger from those guys behind the scenes just using this as an excuse?
Yeah, I think that they're inciting this whole screenplay. And that's what it is a screenplay. It's like a show. Look, military, get everybody thinking this. Get everybody incited into fear. World War III. The greatest ammunition you have is prayer. And your best friend is Archangel Michael. Get to know him. Call him into your heart. And say it out loud until you know he's heard you. Scream it with all the love of your heart. Archangel Michael, help us. And he will, I have to say, though, America does have a configuration that's coming along about November 5th through February 27th of 2018. It's coming up November 5th, 2017 into 2018. It's called Uranus conjunct Mercury. Uranus is explosive, sudden, unpredictable. It likes to, bring a surprise you didn't get to plan for, whatever it is. And Mercury deals with communication, talk, getting some news, everything you're thinking about mentally, technology, etc. Something's up then. That's a pretty powerful aspect that is supported by the fact that the moon is in Sagittarius in the America's chart. I'm talking about America's chart. America has Mercury in the 8th house, very, very close to the 9th house, but still in the 8th house, which rules the economy, And Aries, of course, Uranus in Aries is a sudden event, and it actually likes to be in the eighth house. So it's just nerve-wracking. It's going to make our brain move a little faster. I think America has some really good astrology, though, quite frankly. I think we're balanced mentally and emotionally from July now through October 3rd, Saturn sextile Neptune in the fourth house. That means that we're stronger in our home front than usual, and we're taking responsibility in our home front. And so the left brain and the right brain are working. So, but the media would not let you believe that. The media is going to make you think, oh, Trump's situation is all in a turmoil. It's not. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's a master. What he's done is he's taken the broadcasting companies and got him off the subject of Russia, put him on another subject so that he could get some stuff done. So he's a master at working with the media. And everybody says that anyway, but he's up to stuff. He's up to stuff that the media doesn't get. They're over here in left field talking about this whole different thing while Trump is busy putting together this other thing that is so important. And so what you hear in the media is not what's really going on.
And our job here is we also have to continue to make our prayers, calls, meditation, visualizations, fiats to God source to reveal what the media is actually covering up. This is important that this stuff get exposed. We got to help the process along by asking for this stuff to be exposed, what they're doing, the actual cover up, all this, the unreality of these actions that they're taking, so that the real thing can occur.
Another thing that's happening, you talk about the media. We got the progressed moon in America's chart in Sagittarius, which rules the media. We got Jupiter going into the third house, which rules conversations and communications with the media and with news in general, what everybody's talking about. And we have Saturn in Sagittarius, which rules the karma that is descending because of the noise through the media. It's just kind of hilarious. We do have Pluto in America's chart in the fifth house, which rules the economy, investment, Wall Street. And we have noticed under this full moon, it's been opposing the moon of America's chart for the last 2 years. And we've noticed, the Wall Street going up. We've noticed, as we were going to talk about Ethereum and Bitcoin, I watched Ethereum go up $100 in 1 week.
Wow.
And then go down 150. It's a great investment because if you think about Bitcoin, it's $2,200 now. A coin used to be like zero. It went from 0 to 2,000. I mean, whoever got on that boat, it's digital money. You can spend it on the internet. You don't have the bank in between you and the money. So that's what's really cool about digital money, is that you eliminate the banking system and their control over you. So that's why it's so popular. So, anyway, Pluto opposing moon. That's a great economy.
So do we have anything else that we can leave our listener viewers with before we depart on this update that we have right now?
Yeah, we're not going into World War III under this eclipse in August.
Okay.
Nor are we going into World War III anytime soon. As a matter of fact, we're going to see more stabilization. And the economy will become front and center. People will be in our government concerned about how, well, think about this. How many people are off welfare just recently?
Yeah, exactly.
More and more people are coming off of food stamps. And we're not going into socialism as much as George Soros and what's that other guy's name that backs Clinton? He starts with a B. He's a billionaire. What's his name? Dang it. Anyway, these guys, they have no power. God Almighty is the only power that can act. Quite frankly, these billionaires think they're God and they're not. Well, they are God. Ye are gods and ye know it not. You're toddlers trying to figure it all out. But they're kind of the fallen God, and their day is just about done because you're doing your prayer work and they're on the run. Every time you say a prayer to bind an evil force on this planetary body, it gives them less and less power to control you.
Go to prophecyisgiven.com and there is an introductory series of blog posts that are in there that will explain kind of just real basic, from how these components fit together. We talk about the good guys, the bad guys. We talk about the power of sounds. Check it out. It's good. It's a good adjunct to what we're talking about here. So check that out.
You could go to astrologygenehard.com and listen to some shows, old shows that we've done. But also, there's a great website. I would love it if you checked it out and listen to some of the comments made on Karma and Reincarnation. Just kind of peruse the website and see if there's anything for you. It goes in depth with the power of sound and how to work with it. And that is tsl.org. tsl.org. That's the Summit Lighthouse. I think their website is awesome. Although there's a prophecy is given as awesome, and there's many good, much material out there. But check that one out and study it and see what you find.
And there'll be
you know
references.
What I bought for my birthday?
What?
To myself.
What?
I went to tsl.org and I bought every dictation Sana Kumara ever gave.
Wow. Now you're going to have to
study them.
Gene, we're time here. We're going to have to describe what dictations are, how all this works. We're just
Right,
going.
Whoa!
I'm
just kind of giving you a little carrot there. Sana Kumara is my father. He brought the 144,000 down here to Earth to save the planet. And I think I'm one of those kids, but I don't know for sure. And I think Arthur is, and I think that you are.
Oh, I'm absolutely one of those kids, for sure. Anyway, Gene, we're going to have to wrap this up. We're out of time. We just got to roll.
I know.
So,
God,
sorry.
See, green tea, what it does to me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk so much.
Gene's on a roll.
There are seeds.
But we're going to... What?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
We're out of here. We are out of here. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
We love you. We love you. We love you.
Let Jean do an astrology consultation for you, your family, or your friends. Go to astrologygenehard.com or give her a call or text her at 1-406-599-3934. There are powerful spiritual tools available to help you deal with planetary and personal challenges, and these can be found at prophecyisgiven.com. And be sure to visit our website at thetrekupwardradioshow.com or stop by on Facebook at www.facebook.com/trekupward. And be sure to hit like on our page. Or visit YouTube and search for the Trek Upward Radio Show. Be sure to subscribe so you do not miss another episode of the Trek Upward Radio Show. The Trek Upward Radio Show is a studio at 5,600 feet production.